In this video, I'm going to cover a lay betting strategy for BetMover. Apologies for the delay getting this video out. I did lose all my audio and a complete day's racing that I'd recorded due to a bad SSD. So never buy a crucial SSD, which have now gone back to Amazon. Anyway, what I'm going to explain is a way that we can identify horses to lay in running based on specific data and triggers. Now, I will do my best to highlight in running exactly what I'm looking at and why I'm making the decisions along the timeline. And hopefully this will help you to use this strategy or experiment with this strategy and develop it even more, because there's definitely something in it. Over the course of a couple of days that I did actually manage to capture the recordings on the 9th and the 10th of April, I was able to successfully place a series of lay bets. Now, some of it was luck, as it is with any betting. There was some definite flukiness involved with some of the bets, but then again, overall I didn't lose a bet, and it was all, the decision making was all based on science, which I'll explain as we progress over these videos. So if you look at number 8, Whispering Gypsy, and we've got the par line there that is in slow motion. The par line on the middle bottom is the blue to the red, and if a horse is running behind the blue, more to the left, it's running more off the pace. And if it's running ahead of the red, to the right of it, it's running more on the pace. It's running ahead of the pace, basically. Now, I've just laid that horse and put a profit on of £2.44 should the horse lose, with a liability of £10. So it's a fixed liability lay bet, and you can put that in the settings. The reason I did that is because if you look at the splits, which is the 4 boxes that are populated now with the miles per hour and the 4253 that are highlighted, this horse at that moment in time, compared to these other 2 horses that I've just highlighted, was running more on and off the pace, as in it was going faster and slower more often than the other horses which are at the head of the market. And in this moment, at this particular race, there's 3 horses that are specifically the focus of the race and the most likely to win. So when I laid the horse very early on in the race, I did that on the basis that the horse was going faster and slower and running more inconsistently than the other horses that were well fancied in the race. And I looked at the par line, I looked at the splits, and that's how I made the decision. Because obviously it's so early in the race, the lengths back and everything else will not really be valid if we're looking at a horse that is in close contention for the top spot. And in this race, we've got 3 horses that we're looking at, 7, 8 and 4, and we've just laid number 8 based on the fact that it's not running as consistently as the other horses in the race. Sorry if I sound like I'm overemphasizing this, but I just want to make it completely clear how simple this selection process is, and I will demonstrate it over a series of races within this video, whether I've gone early like I have in this race, or whether I've gone near the end of the race. However, I'm not backing like I have done in the previous videos and the very under a furlong sort of stage. I'm getting on the bet, a lot earlier, as you can see in this example. Now, just focusing on the top 3 horses, we can see our horse, Whispering Gypsy. What will typically happen is the horse will run inconsistently at the start, and then because it's one of the main players, it will then begin trying to get back in the race. Now the idea is, as you can see, just looking at the par line, it's doing that now. It's trying to get back in the race. Now The concept of the whole thing is that, yeah, it will have a go, but it's been running so much on and off the pace, it's not got enough in the locker to actually go on and win. If there's enough good horses to go against it, it shouldn't win, really. In theory, it shouldn't win. It should have gone hot and cold more often than not, and that will cause it to really run out of gas. So what we're seeing here is number 8 just steadily running out of gas as the number 7 horse is going on to win. And number 7 really just needs to get over the hurdles and do the business, because number 8, which is in contention, should anything strange happen to the top horse and it just run out of legs, well, that's typically going to be the horse that gets up to win number 8. But in this example, we can see that laying it early, the horse did come on and have a go. But if we look at the numbers across for number 7, you can see that is consistently in the splits where we've got 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. It was more steady with its energy usage, and that is what we're looking for. This whole strategy is based around the amount of energy a horse will use over the period of time in a race, and whenever we decide to get involved, and in these videos I'll show you different points of entry. This was just a very early point of entry. I wanted to demonstrate that I was able to look at it and think, yeah, I can make a decision there. I'm going to lay that horse because it looks like when it comes to the business end, it's just not really going to be in the running. Another thing to note there, just as I finish off, you can see that race finished on BetMover well ahead of the video stream, quite a few seconds ahead of the video stream. But yeah, that is the premise of the strategy. We're looking for value on the lay. We're looking for the data to point us in the direction of a horse that has been running on and off the pace, and then we think, okay, when it comes to the crunch, that's just not going to be able to do the business for us. So let me give you some other examples, some shorter examples of this, and in some of them I will let the commentary go and just chop up the race and show you the point where I placed the bet, and then how the race has panned out near the end. I think that'll help you understand more what I'm talking about visually, and see how I'm placing it in the race without me churning on so much. But just to quickly reiterate, in all of these scenarios that you'll see, I am looking for a horse that has been on and off the pace, and then won't have enough to go on and win it when it comes to the business end. Right, so this race has just started. I'm going to highlight the sections for you and then just explain why, and then as I said, I'll let the commentary go. So at this moment in time, I'm looking for Going Mobile, and I've just got an interest in it because it's one of the top horses. Like I said, I'm looking for value. I'm looking at the par line there, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that's in the blue, it's mid to bottom of the par line overall. These very early stages, just as it's gone over that fence, it didn't jump as well as the leader. Just highlighting the splits there, you can see that compared to the other horses, it's sort of 4th, 8th, second best. So it's not doing terrible, but I've got my eye on that horse because I think, well, all right, it doesn't seem to be jumping fantastic according to the fences. And you can see on the timeline where we've got the black lines, and they're the fences that are coming up. I'll get to this at the end of the video, why they do show and why they don't show, but for now this shows where the fence is on. We've got a fence coming up now, and decided to lay that because I can see that the horse is not jumping great, and it's been running behind the par line, and the splits of the horse are quite inconsistent. To be fair, a lot of the other horses aren't so consistent, but I just think that one is more up and down. Now you can order the horses there by odds. You can see when I order that Go Mobile is actually the second fancied horse at this moment in time. Going over this fence, just about to go over the fence, and it is running. It's jumping not as well as the leader, which at this moment is number 7, Dutch Canyon. So that's fine. I've laid the horse. I've got some value. I've laid the horse at 5.5. You can see at the top left, and yeah. So just skipping to the end of the race now. You can see Dutch Canyon looks like it's got every chance now to go on and win, and our horse, Go Mobile, number 4, is still very much in the running. Without a doubt, it could go on and win the race at this moment in time. Now, what actually happens is Dutch Canyon falls at this fence, and you can see the difference with the software now, how far ahead it is of the live stream, because you can see at this point here, the horse is gone, and then it's gone over the fence. So it will differ from stream to stream, but it's just a few seconds ahead. And we got some luck there, because the horse that fell, Dutch Canyon, hampered Go Mobile, and Scorpo ended up winning. So that was a winning bet for me. Yeah, a bit of luck mixed with a bit of science, and you should win more than you lose. And if you're returning at value and you're getting decent prices on these horses, which in this one was 5.5, which is pretty good, it's not high odds, we'll be looking to make a profit over the long term. Now, okay, moving on to this next race, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the commentary go, and I've highlighted some areas in the race I'm looking at specific points, just some key areas. Let the commentary go and just let you watch, and I will chop the race up, so it's not going to be the entire race, and I will discuss at the end of it what I think and some key points that I noticed throughout that race which made me make the decision on the lay bet.
Looks as if they're about to be called in. The flag is up. They're being called in for the Vickers.bet Try Our Bet Builder Handicap Hurdle. 3 miles, 3 furlongs and 9 yards. 13 flights of hurdles, 2.5 circuits in front of them. Walking towards the starter. And they're off. So here we go in the 5th race of the day at sunny Sedgefield. And the horse with the cheek pieces, second left. On we go. On the extreme left in the blue colours with the cheek pieces, Lamb Turner. These are stride for stride early on. The race is on to see who's going to be first over the first flight. Red and Yellow Diamonds of Wind of Hope, and then comes the favourite Game Face. So coming towards the first, and they're all safely over that. They're not messing about here in this long distance hurdle. 2 horses going for it to go towards the top of the hill. It's On We Go. Alison Johnson riding for her husband Kenny, just the leader. From in second place, Lamb Turner, the jockey change, Sam Coulthard on board, replacing Sean Quinlan. Little gap then of about 3 lengths to Wind of Hope, the champion jockey Brian Hughes. In 4th place, Game Face, that's Richie McLennan. Then at Deeren, Salon Johns rides the Welsh Raider from the Tim Vaughan stable. He's going to be turning at the home straight in 5th place. Then the green and red quarters of Moidor, Colin Leonard, and Moidor towards the rear alongside Adherence and Alan Johns, and also in the stripes Boa Lad and Daniel Hiskett. Skipping over the flight at the top of the hill. That's flight number 2 of the 13. They'll all hopefully be jumping in this 3 mile, 3 furlong race. 2.5 miles left to run. Here they come back towards us for the first time. This will be the last in 2 circuits time. It's flight number 3 of the 13. On we go, the bottom weight, this side. Lands just in front from the blue colours of Lamb Turner. The Lamb Turner now takes it up from On We Go. In 3rd place is Wind of Hope. In 4th is Game Face. In 5th place is Moidor. 6 is the top weight Adherence, and the back marker in the stripes is Boa Lad. He's the oldest horse in the race. He's 14 years of age. So out they go. 2 circuits left to run in this Vickers.bet Try Our Bet Builder Handicap Hurdle. Up front, it's Lamb Turner. Takes them along up on the outside. On we go. They're virtually stride for stride as they jump this next flight. In 3rd place, Game Face hoping to give owner JP McManus what his third winner of the day. He's had two big ones at Aintree today. Can he get another one? On the inside in the red and yellow diamonds is Wind of Hope. Brian Hughes, the champion jockey, looking for his second winner of the day here at Sedgefield. As they go towards the next, this is going to be flight number 5 of the 13 on the far side here at Sedgefield. All safely over. Moidor still the back marker. The horse running quite wide on its own is On We Go. Virtue disputes it with the blue colours on the right of Lamb Turner. Then the red and yellow diamonds of Wind of Hope. And behind Wind of Hope in the green and yellow hoops, Game Face. Then behind this one in the stripes, Boa Lad takes closer order. Then comes Adherence and still Moidor, the back marker. Coming towards flight number 6. It was flight number 1 on the first circuit. And they've got a real good clip right from the word go. And no doubt about it, this On We Go is trying to run the stuffing out of them all here. On the inside in the blue colours, Lamb Turner, virtually stride for stride as they go to the top of the hill. Wind of Hope in third. In fourth place now is Game Face. Next one in the stripes, we've got Boa Lad. Behind Boa Lad on the inside, Adherence, who's by the Derby winner Sir Percy. And the back marker is Moidor, who is by the world's greatest stallion, Galileo. Here they come round towards us. Remember, still over a circuit to run in this race 5, the 4:22, here at Sedgefield. Up on the outside, it's On We Go. On the left as we look. On the right-hand side, that's Lamb Turner. Here they come and jump the flight at the top of the hill. In the air together. Disputing third place is Wind of Hope alongside Game Face. And then behind these in the stripes, Boa Lad, the red and green of Moidor, just the back marker, Adherence. That's the order as they come down and jump flight number 8. This will be the last next time round. This time round, the field just beginning to group up, all going nicely, all 7 going nicely as they should be, with a complete circuit in front of them. So here they come past the winning line, and it's Lamb Turner, Sam Coulthard, who has the lead. On We Go. Alison Johnson is in second place. In third place, Wind of Hope, Brian Hughes. Fourth place, we've got Game Face, Richie McClellan. Behind him in the stripes, Boa Lad, Daniel Hiskett. Then on the outside of that, we've got Moidor, Keelan Leonard. And the back marker is Adherence and Alan Johns. Here they go towards the next on the far side. All okay, Touchwood all jumping well at this stage. 3/4 of a mile left to run in the Vickers.bet, Try Our Bet Builder Handicap Hurdle. Outside, On We Go, just being ridden along a little bit. Game Face in the green and yellow hoops, just asked by Richie McClellan. Then comes in the red and green quarters, Moidor as they jump the last on the far side. So going towards the bend at the top of the hill. 3 horses virtually in line. Lamb Turner on the inside. In the middle, we've got Wind of Hope, and just behind is Game Face. These 3 now just beginning to assert themselves. Trying to stay on in fourth is Boa Lad. So here they come back towards us. Just over 1/4 of a mile left to run and 2 flights left to jump. Wind of Hope, Brian Hughes this side, the champion jockey, looking for his second winner of the day. Lamb Turner, Sam Coulthard, right with him, but under pressure. Getting a wake-up call is Game Face, who's about 5 lengths back in third. Then comes Boa Lad. 2 more flights left to jump. Still Lamb Turner and Wind of Hope, and they're in the air together. Right behind Game Face is getting a bit closer. Now they come down towards the final flight. And on the right, Game Face is trying to put in a run. In the middle, we've got Lamb Turner. On the left, we've got Wind of Hope. We're going to have 3 in the air together. Here they come down towards the 13th and final flight. 3 horses in line. Who's going to jump it the best? Beautiful jump by Game Face, Richie McClellan. He gains a couple of lengths, and that could win it for him. Coming up towards the line, it's Game Face. It's another for JP McManus. Game Face wins it. In second place is Lamb Turner. In third, that's Wind of Hope. And in fourth, Boa Lad.
So, first point to note, you could see when I highlighted in the video that the timeline and the live stream, that BetMover finished between 3 to 5 seconds before the actual race finished on the stream. During the race, you could see that number 4, Wind of Hope, was on and off the pace early on, just looking over the splits, and it had its moment late in the race, primarily because you got a top jockey on board and is going to always try and get the best out of that horse, and he did, Brian Hughes, and he really put in a challenge late on, and the horse could have gone on to win. But then you look at Game Face, the splits. Then we've got a series of 2s, 1s, 3, 2s, 1, 3. Yeah, so that horse was travelling at a nice steady pace throughout the race. It wasn't going fast and slow and expelling that energy, and it didn't really need to try as hard later on, which is the reason it won the race. And that is exactly what we're looking for with these bets. We're looking to get some value, and we're looking to lay the horse at a moment in the race when we think we've seen enough with the horse. I think, hang on, that's been on and off the pace so much that you think there's enough more quality in the race to be able to go on and beat that horse, and you don't think the horse that you're going to lay is going to have enough in the tank to get up when needed to actually win the race. And in the end, the horse finished in third place. Wasn't far off the winner, but the winner, didn't really need to do much to get over the line. It was all planned, really, with the horse and how to ride it to get the most out of it. Whereas Wind of Hope really gave Brian Hughes more work to do. And on another day, maybe not. Maybe the horse is amazing. Maybe the horse will do a great job. That's not the science behind this. The science behind this is we're looking for that horse that's tried too hard at specific moments. So like anything that we do, if we play five-a-side, we're stopping and starting, and we know that affects us physically more than just doing a run at a steady pace. And the same applies here. That's what we're looking at. So hopefully that explains quite well how I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the par line, I'm looking at the splits, I'm looking at how the horse is performing, whether it's going faster and slower, and I'm assessing that against the value, because it's usually one of the top horses, because I know at some point that horse is going to come on and put in a good show. But the goal is to find the horses that have really given a lot to try and stay in the race in the first place, to get to that point where they may have a chance, but then there's enough around them that's just been travelling much better, and they will be the horses that will have the better chance to go on and win. Right, so if you're not sure how to set up the splits, let me show you in the settings where you need to go to and how mine is set up. So if you do want to mirror this, you can do. Within BetMover, you go to the settings at the top, and then from there you can find this where it says split, and I have mine splits and order. So it's the order of which one is doing the best at that moment in time. Average speed, furlongs, last 10. For jumps, I have the leader at the same distance. For flat, leader at the same time. So the manual for BetMover explains exactly what they mean in more detail, but that is how mine is set up, and I'm finding that's working quite well for me at the moment. In this next race, I didn't have a bet. Let me have a look. Yeah, the distance, everything was fine, but it was near the end of the day for me. And I was going to go into Tampa and do the American racing, but it was cancelled due to bad weather. So that was the end of my day with regard to betting and testing out this strategy on the 9th of April. The following day in this race, there was a definite opportunity, but I didn't get involved. It was just the start of the day. I think I'd only had one coffee, so I had another coffee. And then in this race, I did get involved. So what I'll do is, again, I will let the commentary take over, and I will talk at the end. Again, I've highlighted specific sections where I may be focusing on at that moment in time during the course of the race, and hopefully that'll help you to look at BetMover and follow the same direction and look for the same triggers. But anyway, let me hand over to the commentary and I'll discuss at the end.
Good afternoon, Mike. Yeah, just thinking about that Seagram race when he collared poor old Garrison Savannah all those 30 years ago, wasn't it, today? Last couple going in then. Pete Moss goes in. We're just about ready. And they've jumped away for our first. The follow up the races on Twitter, handicap just under 2 miles. Dropped in early is the grey Uncle Bernie. Showing speed towards the inside is Smith. And out wider, Gavlar wants to press forward now and go on. So it's Gavlar leading to French Mix in the light green and white in second. Smith in third. Ahead of Pete Moss in fourth place, representing Nigel Hawke on the outside. A couple of lengths back to find Glencoe Boy ahead of, on the inside, that's a Manto. And then further back to find Estrella Star, who's in the grey jacket. Then comes to the outside looking for Carl, who's in the white colours with the maroon stars. Then Reece Celtic in the yellow and blue diamonds further back for John Egan. Bird for Life is on the inside. The dark blue with the white cap and the back duo are Marzel, a white cap now for that one. The maroon and green and the grey Uncle Bernie, held up by Josh Bryan, is also towards the rear as they turn into the home straight on the first circuit. So Gavlar allowed to success. Then comes Looking for Carl, who's racing ahead of Bird for Life and then Uncle Bernie. And the back marker is Marzel and Joey Haynes. They pass us with a circuit to go. About to turn left-handed them towards the halfway point, and they're still being led by Gavlar by a couple of lengths. Two in second place, that is French Mix. Smith is on the inside of Pete Moss. They're third and fourth. Then comes a Manto, who's racing next in the field. Gavlar it is, who still has the lead. Gavlar out by a couple of lengths to, in second place, French Mix. Racing in third is Smith on the inside of Pete Moss, who's got the red sleeves. And then comes a Manto, who's racing ahead of, in the white colours, Glencoe Boy. To the outside, Looking for Carl is racing up without cover. Reece Celtic still covered up by John Egan, the yellow and blue diamonds. Estrella Star is next, the grey colours. Then Bird for Life, Uncle Bernie, and finally Marzel. Reaching the turn as they pass the 5, it's still Gavlar. A length clear to French Mix in second place, Smith in third. Pete Moss has always been in fourth or fifth place, is to the outside of a Manto, and then behind a Manto we have Glencoe Boy. Looking for Carl, just nudged along on the outside as they make the turn. Back towards the final 3 furlongs down the side. French Mix, the light green and white now, coming to challenge Gavlar. To the outside, Pete Moss is there with a chance. Estrella Star is next. Then comes Smith from Glencoe Boy, and ridden along is a Manto. Reece Celtic with work to do. Switch to the extreme outside with a long way behind as they make the turn. And up front it is French Mix, tackled now by Pete Moss, who's going home strongly for Ben Curtis. Pete Moss now tackling French Mix. These two ahead of Smith and then Estrella Star. Reece Celtic a lot to do. In the centre, though, it's Pete Moss who leads them inside the furlong, and Pete Moss it is going on. Reece Celtic is picking up down the outside. Smith is there as well. Pete Moss is all out for Ben Curtis. Reece Celtic still running on, but it's Pete Moss, 30 years on from Seagram. Pete Moss wins for Nigel Hawke and Ben Curtis. Close for second between Reece Celtic and Smith, and then came Looking for Carl in behind.
So another race, another win there using this approach. And you could see that we finished ahead of the actual live stream again in BetMover, quite a way ahead in this example, which is obviously the reason we're looking to use a platform like BetMover to give us some sort of timing edge. Now, I did also place 2 bets in running. If you look at the top left, you'll see French Mix, a price of 8.6 and 8.4. That was one bet, and then French Mix at 5.7, more value there, and that was another bet, and the return on that was £3.39. Again, just using the split information, just using the par line, and really just gauging whether I thought that horse was expelling more energy early on, so it wouldn't have enough in the locker. Now, there was definitely some luck involved there because French Mix did go on and do quite well in the race overall. Obviously, it didn't win, but it was definitely there or thereabouts. And yeah, but that's what we expect. If you look at the splits there, you can see near the end, you've got 9, 8, 8, 7, 3, 9. So the horse did fall away without a doubt, and it wasn't there at the business end, which is exactly what I'm looking for with this strategy. I'm looking for a horse that puts in a good show but doesn't do the business for us, and just using the data to find that. So I'll do another race with the commentary and give you another example, and I'll chop this one to make it shorter, and then we'll do a series of races there which I've finished off over the 2 days so you can see what I've been up to.
And they're off. And this is the Melodies in tune with Kubota Mini Excavators handicap chase. 18 fences for 5 of them to jump. And a line of 6 fences, the second of which is an open ditch. And Sackett continues to lead by 2.5 lengths to Polidora, now in second. It's a half length then to Dan Baru. Nightline follows, and Waikiki Waves is in touch, but still under some driving. With Dan Baru now pressing. Sackett is in third place. They've got 1 fence left to jump, and Polidora leading to it. Dan Baru and Charlie Price in second. Polidora and Stan Shepherd over 3 lengths clear of Dan Baru. It's a few more back to Sackett in third. Waikiki Waves just clearing it back in fourth, but it's Polidora who had been out of form, but he's going to return to the winner's enclosure this afternoon for Tom Lacey and Stan Shepherd. Polidora is coming home in front. Polidora the winner.
So in that one, same again. The horse at the moment that I chose to lay was showing inconsistency. If you look at the horse that won, Polidora, near the latter stages over the splits, got 1s, 2s, 3s. It was very close, some luck involved. Yet again, got matched at the price of 10. So that's kind of my maximum that I'm willing to accept with this. Take about 10% ROI. But so overall, it was a win, but it was a close call, and that will happen from time to time. This next race, as you can see, has just started. But just skipping to the business end, I was way too slow to get involved. There was definitely some opportunity there. Without a doubt, if you look here, we've got some flip-flopping of the horses. But it was so closely contested that I really just couldn't call it. And I'd left it sort of too late in the race. The other 2 horses, Frank's Fancy and Stormin' Norman, there was some inconsistencies with the splits, but I just didn't get it early enough. At this point with these 2, as you can see from the video stream, it was anyone's call. By the time that it was obvious, there was just no value there at all for me, so I didn't get involved in that one. And again, for the following race, I didn't have the reaction, so I didn't spot it early enough, so I didn't get involved there. I did get involved here though, so I'll let the commentary go and I'll talk about it at the end.
And they're off. Runners away for Division 1 of the Ken & Guy's 100th Kubota Mini Excavator Novices Handicap Hurdle. Macamara leads to the first of 10 flights. Kilcreased Moon. The front 5 are followed by Ashley Hollow and Earthly, and then Mighty Meg. Big Fiddle returning from quite a long absence. In some famous colours from the family of that great staying chaser Fiddling the Facts, running on the inside of Dolly McQueen. Very intense, and Sea Destination is in last place. So making the run away from the home straight, turning left-handed and racing uphill. And it is Macamara. She has the advantage by 3 lengths to Kilcreased Moon in second position. Sea Destination continues to be the back marker. Big Fiddle is also towards the rear, as Macamara, setting out to make all of the running, leads them towards the first of 4 hurdles in the back straight. And Macamara stretched on by 4 or 5 lengths to Kilcreased Moon and Lee Edwards in second spot. Joshua Moore on board the favourite Impal. Macamara a little bit better at the next one. Still towards the back of the field at this stage is Dolly McQueen and Big Fiddle and Mighty Meg. Macamara to Kilcreased Moon in second, poised to strike Tuscan Pearl. Impal is shaking.
Now if I just jump in here, you can see that Impal has actually put in a good show. And the number 2 horse is still a contender in the top 3. I mean, looking at the video, it's very much off the bridle. And the other 2 look the strong favourites there. But according to the odds, Impal is still looking very strong, and it moves into second place, and it's looking to challenge the leader, who really just needs to go over this fence and put the race to bed. The race itself, as a bet, it was very close. Impal could have got up to win, but the initial feeling that it was on and off the pace, and it wasn't running as well as it needed to be, so when it came to the business end, it would struggle, did actually prove to be correct. And I managed to get decent odds on the lay and make £3.33. So again, you're not going to win them all. This one I nearly lost, but I won. and I literally just followed the days. You can see along there that Kilcrease Moon was consistent, but Impal definitely stepped up near the end, as you would expect it to step up near the end. That's the whole point of backing these these short-priced fancied horses, based on the data alone that's telling us that they've been on and off the pace. So this next race, you could draw a line through them. I was too slow and it was only 5 furlongs. The next race is coming up. I'll just let run. I'll chop up and I'll give you some thoughts at the end after the races have ran, and you can see how I've bet over these races, and then I'll add my final thoughts on using this strategy, which I did over the 9th and 10th of April.
Approaching the tape, and they're off. Division 2 of the Ken & Guy's 100th Kubota Mini Excavator Novices Handicap Hurdle. Bailey Gorse well to the fore early, in company with Magode Speed, the white and green. Alfoski, the far side, wearing the blinkers, and the near side is No Worries. On the inside of that, Poet's Reflection and Shut the Gate, followed by Obey the Rules, Miss Harriet and Speedy Choice. Harry Reid is up and walking away, following the tumble at the third, as it is still Magode Speed in front, but only by about a neck to Bailey Gorse in second position. Alfoski and Cat Royale 3 and 4, then Shut the Gate, Poet's Reflection and No Worries. They make up the leading 7. There's a gap then of 4 lengths to Obey the Rules, who's just pushed along into the bridle ahead of Miss Harriet and Mihal Nolan. That leader continues to be Magode Speed as they make the run towards the first of feed, and Bailey Gorse. Alfoski was landing in a bit of a heap there on the inside, got a flick down the shoulder as Cat Royale travels okay following them. Off the bridle and losing positions is No Worries as they run on towards the next. The Gate in 5th, then Poet's Reflection, a Taunton winner last month. Linda Blackford's charge in here is just following the pace ahead of Obey the Rules. Miss Harriet is driven along. No Worries, Speedy Choice at the back as Magode Speed again led Bailey Gorse at that one with Cat Royale.
So quite an easy win there. That wasn't really too much trouble. You can see Poet's Reflection is now odds of 1,000, and the liability was a little bit higher than the 10. The way it worked out with the bet, I did only press it once, and it was £11.28 when the fixed liability is 10, so that'll be down to the speed of the odds going on. But I did make £2.17 on that, so not bad overall. Okay, so moving on to the next race, I will, because I've just put this in slow motion here, you can see that Poet's Reflection lost by a wide margin. And yeah, moving on to the next race, I'll let the commentary go again, and yeah, at the end of the video I'll give you my thoughts.
The flag is up. They're being called in for the Think Smart at Vertem Conditional Jockeys Training Series Novices Handicap Hurdle. Just walking towards the starter, and they're off. So here we go, just under 2 circuits in front of them, 13 flights of hurdles in this near 3-mile contest. Let's see who's going to take them along. The Teal's lad, but still remains third. Then in fourth in the green colours, Trump's Benefit. Behind Trump's Benefit, we've got Hourglass Star. Trying to make a move in the orange hoop is direct towards the inside, but is having to be ridden to do so. Shaka the King is still right there on the outside. It's a 2-horse tussle for the lead at the moment, and that is Master Newton. On the outside is Lulu Baloo, making ground towards the outside. The favourite, Shaka the King. On the inside in the dark blue, Hourglass Star moves well for Kieran Buckley, looking for a double. Green colours, Trump's Benefit. Ned Fox still moves well. Then behind this, on the wide outside, Emissar is asked to improve. Here they come towards the home straight. 3 flights left to jump. Half a mile left to run. And this 2:33 here at Newcastle. Let's hope the loose horse doesn't cause a problem and win it nicely. In second place, that was Shaka the King. In third, Trump's Benefit.
Okay, so let's have a quick overview. As you could see in that race, that was another winning lay bet following this selection process. The fixed liability was slightly over the set amount there, something to do with the odds and the timing of the bet, but we did return over the 10% on that bet as well, which is good. So let's just recap on this so everyone has got a clear idea of what I'm doing, because it is really straightforward. And I'll tell you, it's not going to work every single time, but the methodology behind it will mean you'll win a lot more than you lose. If you're getting decent value odds, which in this race it didn't, but the ones before it you could see that I have done, you'll be returning a profit without doubt. So let's break it down in the simplest terms. If it's a hurdles race, I'm looking if the horse is jumping behind the par line. Now, as I explained, you've got your coloured lines, which go from blue, green, up to red. The blue is cold, the red is hot. If it's below the blue, so it's on the left, or it's down in that threshold, there's other horses that are going over the hurdles and they're jumping ahead of par or in the red, and the horse we're tracking isn't, yet the odds are still quite low and appealing because it's one of the more fancied horses. So over a few fences, over so many splits, at least 4, you can see that the horse looks like it's underperforming and it's on and off the pace, as well as jumping consistently behind par. Then it's a potential bet. Obviously that's your call when you do it. You can see on my examples I've done it at after at least 4 splits, but it's completely up to you. You can do it later on in the race, or you can do it early on in the race. It is a bet. Try and get the best value on it. That's what it's all about. And the same applies with this, with the flat racing. If you're looking to enter the market, you're looking at whether the horse is running behind the par line more often than not, and if the splits are showing that it is running on and off the pace. Because if it is running on and off the pace, if it's not as consistent as its other closest contenders, there's a very good chance, if it is running below par line, it's running hot and cold throughout the race, that the energy used to try and keep up with the pace and then actually mount a challenge is going to take a lot more than the other horses that are running at a more consistent, steadier pace. And that's just a fact of life, isn't it? That's just science. That's really how it is. As I explained earlier, if you're stopping and starting more as opposed to going at a consistent pace, you're burning more energy. Now, I do know that Nigel is looking at some way to include the energy triggers, so we can see if a horse has been burning more energy than its surrounding horses, and then we can make this betting method even more straightforward. I've got no ETA on that, but I know that is something he's looking at, and it is in the pipeline. I've got some more videos I've recorded since this, just the getting on late backing approach to continue that thread. I know a lot of people do bet using the software like that, and I will continue to expand on the lay betting, and I've got some great ideas for in-play trading which I'll include soon. But hopefully that explains this very straightforward method. On and off the pace, behind par, look for value. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.